When I first saw the Magic Keyboard, I thought, that's it. That's what the iPad needs. Then I saw the price, and I thought, no way anybody would actually buy it. Certainly not me. I mean, come on. You can buy a cheap Bluetooth keyboard and a cheap wireless mouse from Amazon, and voila, you have the same thing. Right? Well, I discovered how wrong I was. Now, the Magic Keyboard comes in at £279 for the 11-inch version and a whopping £329 for the 12.9-inch version. I have the 11-inch, which I got from eBay brand new, and it was a lot cheaper than the Apple version, and this will be the focus of the review. The 12.9-inch version irked a lot of people who went out and bought the recent 12.9-inch iPad Pro because, well, it didn't fully fit the original Magic Keyboard. And so that's why you'll randomly see 12.9-inch Magic Keyboards at ridiculous prices of below £150. Connecting your iPad is simple enough. Strong magnets are in the case that line up the iPad and connect it through the iPad's 3-pin connector on the back. This means that the Magic Keyboard is now powered by the iPad. Obviously, you will notice a slight increase in battery drain. I turned my iPad Pro off to avoid that anyway, because standby times just generally aren't great. The viewing angles are a bit poor. I mean, personally, I would have loved to have seen the hinge go backwards a bit more, not to mention fold over completely, but the fact you can pull it off and just have the iPad as a tablet quite easily is such a huge advantage. No need to clip it in and out of a case. The Magic Keyboard is, as the name suggests, using the Magic Keyboard that is already on the MacBook lineup. Now, I have the MacBook Air M1, and it felt a bit strange to type on a smaller version, but nevertheless, it was still the same keyboard. It's backlit, and the backlighting is automatic, which I didn't like. I do like setting it to a certain brightness and keeping it there. The typing is simply superb. The clicks are so satisfying to listen to. Just hear this. The trackpad is wonderful, although it's not as good as a MacBook's trackpad, but then we weren't really expecting it as good as that, were we? I mean, the keyboard standard is. Now, don't get me wrong, the trackpad on the Magic Keyboard is still very good. It's just an actual clicky trackpad, so no haptic feedback or anything. The huge advantage over a cheap mouse is that this is really optimized. Other mice jump and move about the screen. Every wireless mouse I've tried, with the exception of the Magic Mouse 2, have just been they haven't been optimized, and you just can't use it properly. They can't control the windows when you're swiping through apps, and it just ruins the experience and makes it worthwhile spending a bit extra on this. What's disappointed me the most, and several other people if you Google online, is that there's no row of function keys. I really wanted to quickly pump up the volume or reduce the brightness, and I've got to lift up my hand off the keyboard and to do it through the screen, which it ruins the flow that I was in. Obviously, this isn't too much of a big deal, but considering that cheap keyboards have it and they work properly, Apple's only possible reason for not including this is probably because of the lack of space, and it is a bit tight underneath the iPad. Potentially sticking your fingers underneath the iPad in the gap isn't comfortable, but I still think it would have been appreciated to put some sort of function keys there. Maybe they're saving that for the Magic Keyboard too. When you fold it shut, it feels heavy, and it should provide a bit of protection, but obviously don't go dropping it because I don't think it's drop tested or drop proof. From other videos, I can see that the material is prone to grease and fingerprints, and it will eventually rip, which is annoying to say the least. I've only had it a few hours and already there's fingerprints on it, which is just not for something of this price. There's a USB-C pass-through, which leaves the iPad Pro's own slot free to use. I do wish that it wasn't just a pass-through, but we could put other stuff, connect other things through it, but still, Apple saves these kind of things for later models, don't they? So the pros, great typing experience, iPad can be detached really easily, and the trackpad is wonderful. The cons, it's super expensive. Viewing angles are limited and no function keys. Again, with the viewing angles and the no function keys, this could easily be rectified with a new model. So who is this Magic Keyboard aimed at? It's aimed at people who want to type a lot with their iPad, or just want to turn their iPad into a computer. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share and subscribe. The channel is growing, so grateful to have over 1,000 subscribers. And until next time.